Right, so in my last drift car, I had this I don't know about you guys, but I love music and I love driving with music and I love drifting with music. Some people don't like any music at all when they're drifting, but I think it's quite hilarious just in the moment having some bangers going on, some Russian street drifting music while I'm drifting. So now I want to keep a rather clean look on this car, and with that being said, I could put the radio in the glove box, but I honestly can't be bothered. So I've come up with a solution, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's a bit of a it's a very DIY solution, but we're gonna essentially be wiring in our own Bluetooth speaker mount and charger. So I'm going to show you how to install a Bluetooth speaker, like a UE boom or something like that, mount it somewhere, and then always, when the car's on, it's always charging. So you never have to take the speaker out of the car to charge it. It just always charges when the car's on. So today I'm going to be showing you how to DIY Bluetooth speaker for your drift car. So let's get into it. Okay, so there are 3 things that you need to do this. 3 products, not tools. So you need a Bluetooth speaker. This is the one we're going to be mounting. It's just a King's camping one. You need a long cable that is USB and whatever cable plugs into your speaker. So you need quite a long cable for that. I think this one's 2 meters. And so the bones of the install is this power converter, if I can figure out how to open it. So this is a pigtailed power converter. So essentially all it is you get a power and an earth, and you get this DC voltage converter, right? So we're going to be sending a constant 12 volts into this, or a switched 12 volts, and it's going to be converting that power to 5 volts or 3 amps. So 3 amps is fast charge for cars. That's the amount that if you have a cigarette lighter charger, 3 amps is your fast charge. So and then what comes out the end of it is 2 USB ports. So you can see where we're going with this. We're going to wire this in, and then we're going to connect our cord to there, and then we're going to tuck this under the carpet and route it to our speaker, and we're going to have a speaker that never dies. Always going to be charged, so it's going to be mint. All right, we'll head into the car and we'll figure out where this is going to go. Wow, there's a lot going on in here at the moment. The first thing we have to do is we have to find our power and ground for our charger. Now, we want the power to be a switched 12 volt and the ground to just be a good chassis ground. So because I don't have a radio and all the radio wiring in this car has been absolute maul, we're just going to use the radio wiring because may as well. At this point, you're going to want a multimeter, this device here, and you're going to want to set it to 20 volts. And you're going to want to sit in the driver's seat, and we're going to go through the wiring that the radio provides, and we're going to find its 12 volts switched power. So what I mean by switched is when you turn the key on, it provides 12 volts, and when you turn the key off, that 12 volts stops, because we don't want it to draw current when the car's off. Otherwise it'll be charging it literally 24/7. Something will probably catch on fire and it won't be good. So we have to find our switched 12 volts. Okay, so down here we have the radio wiring, which is completely bunk. So I've been through and found, kind of the 3 main ones that the radio uses. You don't need to do this at all. I did this when I thought that I was going to be using a radio. So I know that this is my constant 12 volts and this is my switched 12 volt. I've just extended them out because they've literally been cut all the way back here and it's just a pain in the ass. So I'll show you how we know it is a switched 12 volts. It's gonna be, oh my fucking goodness, what just happened? We're going to connect positive to the positive switch and the negative to a good ground, and you can see that we have no power. Now when I turn the ignition to the on position, we have our 12 volts. Okay, so we have our 12 volt switched cable. I'm going to be an absolute cheater. I hate doing this, but I'm just going to do it because I can't be bothered. I encourage you to solder all connections and not use these quick joins, but I'm going to be a pleb and do that right now. So crimp her down. Now also, if you wanted to do this for a phone charger, you could definitely do it for that, but I'm just going to do it for my speaker because I want hectic beats, like Russian drifting beats while I'm drifting, because honestly, like, who doesn't want that? Okay, switched 12 volts. We can connect her to there. Now we have our switch 12 volts. Take the ground, just like so. Make sure she's not going to go anywhere. Remove. At this point, you are literally done. Like so. USB ends. How do I tell it's charging? Yep, okay, there is a light. Can you see that little red light? We now have a charging cord. That's mint. That is so mint. Turn it off and it stops. Okay, so that is the little cord. So now all you got to do is figure out where you're going to mount this. And all you have to do is now route this to where that speaker is. Crazy. So I think mine's going to go here, and I'm going to route the so I'm going to route it like that, and then the cable will route down this pole and then under my carpet. That's so much easier than wiring a radio in. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the inside of the car, mount the speaker, and it's going to be hectic. Alright, so I've got my charging cable just running zip tied down my roll cage. It then heads under the back carpet and then down through the center console delete. Now if you had a center console you could just put it under that, but I've got the carpet, so then it goes under that. I've got my DC converter sitting in there, and all those ready to go. So you can't even see the wire, and we've now got a self-charging speaker that I never have to remove. And it's like, some people might be like, well, I could just remove it and charge it. You could. Let me speak from experience though. I've run a speaker in a drift car that I've had to take out and charge. Let me tell ya, I had music for like one event and then I just let it die because I could not be bothered. And like, because you have to mount it because the car's going so, like, the car's, you know, drifting, so you have to mount it, otherwise the speaker just yeets itself. Yeah, so I figured I'll mount it, get a charger that's connected to the car, because now I just never have to think about that ever again. It's always going to be charged, and I'm always going to have music, like, guaranteed. Sick. But yeah, that was just a quick little episode on how to kind of get a Bluetooth speaker in your drift car if you're keen on that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.